Hi guys, Nerdy Perkins here, breaking down One Piece chapter 992. Be sure to check out the official chapter that releases on the Shonen Jump app or Manga Plus every week. The 3 most recent chapters are always free, and you can always subscribe monthly to get access to the entire One Piece series. So on the cover, we see Yamato's official color scheme. I really like the color of the hair. It has a nice contrast to their bright red horns. Really big fan of Yamato overall. Really hoping that they will join the crew. Next we have the color spread with all the crew and mostly their basic post-time skip outfits. We have the inclusion of Jembe, which is always really cool to see that now that he's officially joined the crew. From what I understand, this is tied to the statues that are being put up in Oda's home prefecture in Japan. Pretty sure that Sanji, Usopp, and Luffy are up so far, and I think there should be some more announced here shortly, it sounds like. So then getting into the actual chapter, we open with Big Mom meeting up with Sparrow. She assures him that the alliance was her idea and that the Big Mom crew should trust her. In the distance, we can see the battle happening up above on the Skull Dome. As many figured, Marco and Sparrow agreed to team up to fight Kaido, but that agreement seems to be nullified now. Big Mom seems surprised that Marco is helping Luffy and his group, but Marco's just like, we're not bound by Whitebeard anymore, you know, we can act as we will. It's certainly an interesting contrast to the samurai that we will see fighting later on in this chapter. Meanwhile, we cut to Carrot, who seems to have spotted Sparrow and is headed in his direction to avenge Pedro. I really hope she gets to get a full fight with him. Maybe we'll even see Marco and Carrot versus Big Mom and Sparrow. Who knows? I'm also very much a fan of Carrot joining the crew, hopefully. We then see Yamato chasing down Shinobu and Momo. Pretty simple there, not much going on. But then the really interesting stuff starts up. We see Black Maria in a kind of framing device where she starts playing the shamisen, singing a song about unrequited lovers meeting on a snowy, moonlit night. And we fittingly cut to the Red Scabbards dueling Kaido up on the Skull Dome. And just some amazing paneling, just very good. I'm a big fan of what Oda's throwing down here. Very much hoping that the anime will be able to actually do what Oda has challenged them to do here, if you will, if you get what I mean. We learned that Kaido's roars can become lightning, which is very fitting with him being an Eastern dragon, because they have a very strong status as storm or weather gods in kind of more Eastern mythology. From there, it's basically one blow after the other, the different retainers getting blows on Kaido. We start with Crimson Cat Dance from Nekomamushi, who spins around absorbing the lightning. As we know, the Minks have their electro ability, and it seems supercharged when they are in Sulong form. So he seems to use the lightning to kind of spin around and then whop Kaido's head up into the air, which is then followed up by the Kappa-style River of Sea from Kawamatsu. It's a slashing attack that radiates out, possibly using some form of fisherman karate. It's followed by the Canine Scourge. Inuarashi, pardon my pronunciation of any of the Japanese names, stabs his new awesome sword leg into Kaido's side. I'm not sure exactly where on Kaido's side. He's got a lot of side. And then we get the Fallen Snow Scythes and Slicing Rounds, a sibling double team attack by Okiku, who sends out hooped projectile slices, along with Izo, who apparently got some rounds from Monster Hunter. We get an indication from Kaido that these attacks are not on Odin's level, but they are still chipping away at him, doing little bits of damage. Kaido finally gets fed up and tries to once again use his Blast Breath attack. He's shocked to see that Raizo then uses a scroll to absorb the blast. Raizo then completely wraps up Kaido in the scroll and counters with scrolling jutsu Blast Breath Restoration. Just some amazing paneling here. Like seriously, like it's on the I'm using in the thumbnail. It's just amazing. This fully like raises the bar for him. It seems that Oda's revealing a devil fruit. It could be that the scroll, it's just a function of the scroll itself, but I'm leaning more towards it being a fruit ability, because Raizo refers to it as a jutsu, like Shinobu refers to her ripe fruit powers. And in the official translation, I believe he even refers to it as the Maki ninjutsu. So it seems very likely that he has the Maki no Mi, or the scroll fruit. As far as we can tell, it has the ability to store attacks and expel them at will. The scroll can have its size altered by the user and can constrict like freely around enemies, like so he can like basically wrap you up in it fairly easily, probably controlled by the user's will. I'm assuming that Raizo can also store objects in it, which is where he's able to pull out his various weapons and like shuriken and stuff like that. And this isn't very surprising, honestly. Oda has seeded this from Raizo's introduction back in chapter 817, where he's shown with the scroll in his mouth while he's showing off his various ninpo techniques. So Kaido has to definitely get his bearings after that massive blow. We then get a flashback to Odin complaining about how none of his followers want to learn his special fighting style, his Odin Netoryu, or two-sword style. We cut back to the present in the heat of the battle, where we see that clearly his retainers did learn his classic ability, as we see Kinemon, Dendro, Ashura Joji, and Inurashi taking up the classic Odin two-sword style stance and proceed to hit Kaido with the same Paradise Totsuka. Can't say it, sorry, I can't. It's like the third or fourth time I've tried. Yeah, that Odin used 20 years before, hitting the same scar as their master on the dragon's hide. I'm a huge fan of this chapter. I'm really loving how Oda is establishing how powerful Kaido is by just like having the scabbards just rip into him with all these powerful attacks, and him being like, these are just kind of scratches. But it's very much becoming clear that the samurai are going to be weakening Kaido, which will then allow Luffy to come in and defeat him. Like, I'm not trying to discount Luffy, but I think it's very clear that Oda wants Kaido to be like a supremely overpowered like beast of an enemy. So I think he's doing a great job at doing that. And you know, I think a lot of people were debating about how Luffy will possibly defeat Kaido and like have Oda make it seem satisfying, and I think this is the way to do it, having it so that these samurai who are so committed to taking down the enemy that took down their master, just ripping into him. I'm assuming that we're gonna get a pretty hard turnaround where Kaido's going to wipe them out, like whether that's like just knocking them out or killing them, like who knows at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some deaths, just because the state, like Oda's been raising the stakes arc by arc, honestly. So I'm excited to see where it goes, and I have a feeling that by the time Luffy gets up there, Kaido will still be standing with the scabbards knocked out of the fight, and Luffy will then have to take up the mantle and defeat a Kaido who has admittedly been weakened by these scabbards. But once again, I really think it does a good job at making it so that Kaido's just a beast. So that's all I really have for now. Until next week, I will see you guys later.